I'm Paul Katzeff. I'm CEO of Thanksgiving Coffee Company, and we've been operating here on the coast. This is our 48th year.
My name is Jonah Katzeff, and I'm the Director of Operations, and I've been with the company since before I was born. We were prepared to keep going. Our main ingredient is green coffee, and so for us the key was being able to get coffee from Oakland, where coffee is stored, so we could bring it up here to roast. And so initially we brought a larger supply. We have a warehouse, so we're able to store coffee. And so we brought up about a 2-month supply of coffee to make sure we had enough to roast and package. As far as protocols, initially, we had some procedures that were put in place around distancing and washing hands and keeping people separate. Some people were sent home because they were over 65, and some people were able to continue working from home. So we had a much smaller staff in the office, which allowed us to keep going and function.
We were prepared, even though we weren't preparing for any kind of tragedy and cataclysmic event like this. We were prepared in a sales function kind of way. The balance of the venues that we sell our coffee, if one venue went down, like all of the cafes and restaurants, there was something else that would replace it. And in our case, the two avenues we had were supermarkets and independent grocers and the web. So we had a really well-developed web sales team and a website and a web store that was able to deal with what was going to happen. And what did happen was people started to be afraid to go to the store to buy products. So they started to buy online. Not just coffee, but almost every product on the web increased in volume, sales increased in volume. So we weren't preparing, but we were prepared.
The main thing for us is, if we have any kind of issue, most likely for some period of time we would be shut down. And so we've really made a lot of effort to keep on everyone about policies around behavior at work as well as outside work. I would say after this is all over, if and when it is over, I think that we'll continue to try to maintain a high level of cleanliness because we sell a food product. I think that's what I would say. I mean, I'm hopeful, like we're all hopeful, that we'll return to some kind of normal life again, potentially without masks and all of the safety precautions.
I think the going forward strategy in our business is looking towards direct marketing to consumers on the web. Not completely, but we really have learned that that's the best place to emphasize our growth. And I think that that going forward, there's going to be a lot more sales coming from web-based direct-to-consumer sales for almost all businesses, and businesses that were not prepared for or hadn't built their web presence aren't going to be around. I mean, those businesses have a real problem, and I think there are going to be a whole lot more bankruptcies in our community. I think retailers who have not got a web-based sales will suffer dramatically. So it's a piece of advice to everybody who's going to look at this, who's a business person: get on the web, get to direct marketing. Save your business.
This business has been around for a long time in the community, and so we've supported a lot of staff here locally, as well as provided a really delicious product to many businesses and retail locations. And we're doing a lot of really good work in the world. We're a B Corporation, so we're putting energy towards hopefully making the planet a better place whenever we go or whenever this business isn't here anymore. So I think that by buying our coffee, people can actually make an impact in a very small way by just, drinking their morning cup with Thanksgiving coffee, and then also having a pretty big impact in the world.
An example of that is we just launched a new product in partnership with the American Wild Horse Campaign. Right now there's about 60,000 Mustangs in corrals, and they represent a kind of freedom that this country is supposed to represent. And yet we're putting them in horse cages, just like we put kids in horse cages down on the border. And it's a frighteningly cruel thing to do to a free spirit, whether it's a horse or a child. So we partner with Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund International to help save the last 800 mountain gorillas in Rwanda and the Congo. We partner with the American Birding Association to help save the remaining migratory songbirds in the country. So we're part of an ecological and social justice movement. So when somebody buys our coffee, they're not just buying a cup, they're buying a just cup, which is the motto of our company. Besides that, they're buying a great tasting coffee where our company has won awards for the last 30 years. We were United States Roaster of the Year. In 2019, we won the Good Food Award, which is, we competed with one of our products against hundreds of other coffee companies and were granted a Good Food Award for our Upsetter Espresso. So there's a lot of good reasons to buy Thanksgiving coffee aside from the flavor. It's important that what is inside the package is as beautiful as what the package itself looks like, or vice versa. So there has to be a unified concept of sustainability with our work. This is a mission-directed company. It's not only about profit, although profit is critical, but we sell not by having deals, but by telling stories. So you have to have the stories. You have to be authentic. So we engage with our causes.
I mean, I think the main thing is that we need to keep business open. And so, we need to find solutions that support the business community. I understand, that the pandemic has been going on for a while now, a few months, and that the virus is real. And I also think that the response to opening and closing is highly disruptive. And if you're going to, perhaps certain industries need to be shut down. The idea of, one business being essential or another business not being essential, it's like Harvest Market. If there's a case, the business will close and then it will reopen. But if you're a hair salon or if you're a tattoo parlor, and so I think that there's a real lack of a coordinated response, and so it makes it really difficult for businesses that are struggling to survive and are very small mom and pop operations here on the coast. So I think we're in a unique position because we're not open to the public and we're a manufacturing facility, so we're not as impacted as a lot of other businesses have been in the local community. But yeah, I think the main thing is just there needs to be a coordinated effort between the county response and the state response and the federal response, which really hasn't happened up to this point. And so that's what I would like to say.
I think that what we have to do in Mendocino County is create an environment where there's 95% use of masks everywhere. We have to send out the word to the traveling community. We have to get known for being a safe place where everybody cares. And we're the maskerados. We're the people who wear masks, care about everybody else, and if you want to travel away from your place of residence and just get out, you can come here, but you've got to live by our rules. What does it take to wear a mask and to keep social distance? And if you do that, we're doing it. So if we have that reputation, then our businesses can stay open and we can flatten the line and save the lives of people in our community, because this stuff can come from elsewhere. So that's what I think we have to do as a county, because I don't think we can depend on the state or the county government or the federal government.
I think that there's just a lot that we don't know. I do definitely support socially distancing and wearing masks and keeping everyone as safe as we can. And yeah, we're going to keep roasting coffee for as long as possible. And you know, our commitment to the community is to continue providing great service, you know, to all our accounts that are still in business. And hopefully, with time, this will pass and more businesses will be able to reopen, and you know, the community will find a way to thrive amidst all of the change that's going on right now. So, yeah.
I can tell you one thing: we're going to do everything in our power to reach our 50th birthday. After that, all bets are off. But we're going to get to 50.